Everyone says I'm the CEO's rumored man. First, I'm a convenience store owner. Second, she's engaged. So you can imagine how ridiculous that sounds. My store sits on the corner of Maple and 3rd, small. Fluorescent lights buzzing faintly. Coffee machine that complains louder than customers. And a bell above the door that announces every entrance like it's gossiping. That bell rang at exactly 9:42 p.m. I remember because that's when the rumor stopped being funny. She walked in wearing a tailored charcoal coat. Heels too expensive for cracked pavement. Hair perfectly pinned despite the wind outside. Even under the harsh store lighting. She looked like she belonged in glass buildings and boardrooms. Not between instant noodles and discounted soda. Minute Sayo, CEO of Myri Holdings. And allegedly, my secret lover. The rumor started 3 months ago when a blurry photo circulated online. It showed her standing outside my store at night, handing me something. What it didn't show was the envelope contained a supplier contract for bottled drinks her company was testing locally. What it did show was proximity. The internet filled in the rest. Secret relationship. Hidden romance. CEO dating commoner. Ridiculous. She's engaged to Kang Jae-hyun, heir to a rival conglomerate. Their engagement was announced at a press conference last winter. Perfect power couple. Strategic merger disguised as love. And me. I sell microwave ramen at 2 a.m. The bell finished ringing. She stepped fully inside. A college kid near the freezer nearly dropped his ice cream. I stayed behind the counter, arms folded. You're going to cause another headline. She removed her gloves slowly. You're still open. It's a convenience store. A faint smile touched her lips. It disappeared just as quickly. Turn off the front sign, she said quietly. I hesitated. Then I flipped it. The fluorescent hum suddenly felt louder. The kid with the ice cream hurried out, whispering into his phone. Too late. She approached the counter. Up close, she looked tired. Not CEO tired. Human tired. I told you not to come here anymore, I said. And I told you rumors don't scare me. They don't scare you, I corrected. They hurt my business. Her jaw tightened slightly. Silence hung between us, heavy with everything unsaid. You saw the article? She asked. I don't read fiction. Her engagement photo had trended all afternoon. She and Jae-hyun standing under chandeliers, hands intertwined. Diamond ring flashing like a business acquisition. Official. Polished. Untouchable. Why are you here? I asked. She placed something on the counter. A small paper bag. I skipped dinner. I stared at it. You have private chefs. I didn't want their food. You wanted convenience store kimbap. I wanted normal. That word lingered. Normal. I almost laughed. There's nothing normal about you standing here. Her gaze softened, just slightly. When I'm here, she said, I'm not a merger. I'm not a headline. I'm not someone's strategic future. And what am I? I asked. Her eyes met mine. Someone who knew me before the boardroom. That was true. Before she was CEO. Before the engagement. Before the rumors. Back when she used to sit on the curb outside this very store, drinking canned coffee and complaining about internship interviews. Back when we were just people. The bell above the door jingled again. Both of us froze. Through the glass, camera flashes flickered. Too bright. Too sudden. She didn't flinch. But I did. The rumor hadn't just walked in with her. It had brought witnesses. And tomorrow, everyone would say the same thing again. I'm the CEO's rumored man. First, I'm a convenience store owner. Second, she's engaged. And neither of us are prepared for what happens when rumor starts feeling real. By morning, my store wasn't a store anymore. It was a headline. I didn't even need to check my phone. The proof was parked across the street. 2 black vans with satellite dishes. On top and reporters pretending not to stare. Through tinted windows. The bell above my door rang non-stop. Not customers. Curiosity. Is she inside? How long has it been going on? Are you the reason she's delaying the wedding? I kept restocking shelves like the world hadn't decided I was a scandal. First, I'm a convenience store owner. Second, she's engaged. None of that mattered to the internet. Because last night, the photos were clear. Her inside my store. Lights off sign flipped. Cameras flashing. Romance writes itself when reality stays quiet. At 10:17 a.m., my phone vibrated. Unknown number. I ignored it. It rang again. Then a message arrived. Emergency board meeting. Now. Not from her. From her assistant. That meant damage control. By noon, the stock price of Myri Holdings had dipped 3%. By 1 p.m., trending searches included CEO affair, engaged but dating, convenience store mystery man, mystery man. I looked at my reflection in the freezer door. There was nothing mysterious about me. Just a guy who worked 14-hour shifts and fixed broken coffee machines himself. The bell rang again. But this time, silence followed. I looked up. It wasn't a reporter. It was him. Kang Jae Hyun. Tall. Controlled. Expensively calm. He wore a navy suit sharp enough to cut through noise. No cameras followed him. He didn't need them. He stepped toward the counter like this was just another negotiation. You're causing trouble, he said evenly. I didn't invite the cameras. You invited her. I told her not to come. His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. That meant he believed me, which made it worse. He placed his phone on the counter. An article filled the screen. A close-up of her face inside my store. The caption read, CEO spotted late night with rumored lover, wedding at risk. She won't survive another week of this, he said quietly. Then call off the wedding. His eyes sharpened. This engagement isn't about romance. I figured. It's about stability. Shareholders. Employees. Thousands. Of people whose lives depend on her image. And what does she depend on? I asked. For the first time, he hesitated. That was my answer. She shouldn't come here anymore, he continued. I know. And you shouldn't answer reporters. I don't. Good. He picked up his phone, then paused. Did anything happen? The question wasn't jealous. It was strategic. I met his gaze steadily. No. That part was true. Nothing had happened. Not physically. Not publicly. But something unspoken had always existed between her and me. And he knew it. That's why he came himself. After he left, the store felt smaller. By evening, a black sedan pulled up. No press. No chaos. Just her. She stepped inside slowly. No coat this time. No composed expression. Just exhaustion. They're asking if I'm cheating, she said. Are you? I asked calmly. Her eyes flashed. You know I'm not. I know you're engaged. Silence. Why did you come last night? I pressed. She looked around the store like it held answers in the snack aisle. Because it's the only place that doesn't treat me like an investment. That doesn't make this safe. I don't want safe. Her voice cracked slightly. I want something that's mine. Outside, a camera lens glinted in the streetlight again. The rumor wasn't fading. It was growing teeth. And this time, it wasn't just about headlines. It was about choice. Her choice. And mine. Because the next time she walked into this store, it wouldn't just be a rumor anymore. It would be a decision.
The announcement was scheduled for 4 p.m. Not about the merger. Not about the wedding. About the rumor. By noon, every major outlet had confirmed her emergency press conference. Myri Holdings' logo filled news thumbnails like a warning sign. I kept the store open. Routine is armor. If I closed, it would look like guilt. If I ran, it would look like confession. So I stocked shelves, cleaned the coffee machine, replaced price tags. At 3:58 p.m., I propped my phone against the register. She stepped onto the stage at exactly 4 o'clock. Tailored white suit. Hair perfectly set. Expression unreadable. Board members sat behind her like silent shareholders of her life. Kang Jae-hyun stood to the side, watching, calculating. The cameras flashed in rhythmic bursts. "Thank you for attending on short notice," she began. Her voice was steady, too steady. "As many of you are aware, recent reports have circulated regarding my personal life. Polite way of saying scandal. I understand the public's curiosity. Curiosity. The word almost made me laugh. Speculation would have been more accurate." She continued, "The photos taken outside a neighborhood convenience store have led to assumptions. Assumptions. That was me. A blurry silhouette turned national theory. There is no affair." The words landed cleanly, crisp, strategic. The stock market would like that. But she didn't stop there. "The owner of that store is someone I have known for many years." A murmur moved through the press room. Kang Jae-hyun's posture shifted slightly. History was more dangerous than scandal. "He is not involved in my engagement," she added carefully. "Not involved. Technically true. Emotionally incomplete." A reporter stood up. "Then why meet him privately at night with the lights off?" "Because I wanted normal." I could hear her voice from the night before. She didn't repeat that answer. Instead, she paused, long enough for the room to feel it. "Because," she said finally, "not every relationship in my life is strategic." That sentence didn't protect the merger. It humanized her, and that was riskier. Another question. "Are you reconsidering your engagement?" The air tightened. Even through a phone screen, I felt it. Kang Jae-hyun's jaw set. The board members remained statues. She didn't look at her fiancé. She looked straight into the cameras. "My engagement is a private matter. Not yes. Not no. The kind of answer that keeps options alive." Back at my store, the bell rang. I ignored it, eyes fixed on the screen. A final question cut through the room. "Is the convenience store owner important to you?" There it was. No corporate phrasing. No polite framing. Just direct. For the first time since stepping onto that stage, she hesitated. Not visibly. But I saw it. A breath too long. A blink too slow. "Yes," she said. Just one word. No clarification. No category. Important. The market would not like that. But it was honest. The broadcast ended minutes later. Stock prices would wobble. Articles would dissect every syllable. But the narrative had shifted. I wasn't an affair. I wasn't denied. I was important. Which is worse, because importance invites scrutiny. At 6:12 p.m., the bell above my door rang again. This time, no reporters followed. She walked in alone. No coat. No assistants. No mask. "You watched?" she asked. Yes. Silence stretched between us. "You could have ended it," I said. She nodded. "I know. Why didn't you?" Her eyes searched mine carefully. "Because I'm tired of pretending certain parts of my life don't matter." Outside, traffic moved normally. Inside, everything tilted. "You're engaged," I reminded her. Her fingers brushed the ring unconsciously. For now, that was new. Dangerously new. "Do you know what this does?" I asked quietly. "To the company? To your reputation?" She stepped closer to the counter. "I know exactly what it does." "And?" Her voice softened. "I'm trying to figure out what I want. Before I marry someone for the wrong reasons, the rumor had evolved. It wasn't about secret dating anymore. It was about choice. And choices have consequences far heavier than headlines. Because if she chose stability, I would become a closed chapter. If she chose me, the entire city would feel it. And this time, it wouldn't be a rumor. It would be real." By morning, the word had spread. Not affair, not scandal. Important. Financial analysts dissected it like a risky investment. Talk shows replayed her hesitation in slow motion. Comment sections turned my small convenience store into a national landmark. Stock dipped another 2%. The board scheduled a private alignment discussion, which meant pressure. At 8:12 a.m., a black sedan stopped across from my store again. But this time, it wasn't her. It was 3 board members. Gray suits, polite smiles, corporate courtesy sharpened like knives. They didn't browse the aisles. They came straight to the counter. "You must be him." I didn't answer. One of them adjusted his glasses. "We're here to solve a problem. I sell drinks and instant noodles," I replied. "Not solutions." A faint, humorless smile. "Our CEO is under unnecessary scrutiny. Your continued proximity complicates matters." "Proximity?" I repeated. "It's my store. You understand what we're implying?" "Yes." "Disappear." They placed a card on the counter. A blank check. Unsigned. The amount field empty. "Relocate," the man said calmly. Quietly. The audacity was almost impressive. "You're offering to buy my silence?" "We're offering stability." I looked around my store. Faded price labels. The old coffee machine. The scratch on the counter from when she dropped a soda can years ago during an internship meltdown. This place wasn't valuable to the market, but it was real. "I'm not for sale," I said evenly. Their smiles thinned. "Then understand this," another added. "If the engagement fails because of you, you won't just face reporters." Threat wrapped in courtesy. They left without buying anything. At 2 p.m., her message arrived. "Meet me, rooftop, 7 p.m. No explanation. No emojis. Just urgency." The rooftop of Mirai Tower overlooked the entire city. When I arrived, the sky was turning violet. She stood near the edge, wind pulling strands of hair loose. No cameras. No board. No fiancé. Just her. "You shouldn't be here," she said quietly. "Your board agrees." She turned sharply. "They went to see you?" "Yes." Her jaw tightened. Anger, not surprise. "They had no right. They think they do." She walked closer. "I won't let them intimidate you. You already are," I said calmly. That stopped her. "Your world runs on image. Mine runs on survival." She looked at the city lights below. "I'm tired of living for optics. And what are you living for now?" Her answer came without hesitation. "You." The wind swallowed the silence that followed. "That's not enough," I replied. Her eyes widened slightly. "What?" "You don't run from a merger for a feeling. You don't risk thousands of employees for something uncertain." "I'm not uncertain." "You hesitated at the press conference." She stepped closer, frustration flashing. "I hesitated because I was afraid of what choosing you would cost." "And now?" Her voice softened. "I'm more afraid of choosing wrong." The city hummed below us. So many lives. So many consequences. "Jay Hyan knows," she admitted. "Knew what?" "That I've never looked at him the way I look at you." That wasn't victory. It was disaster. "Call it off," I said quietly. Her breath caught. "Just like that?" "Yes." "For us?" "No." She frowned. "For yourself." The distinction mattered. If she broke an engagement, it had to be for clarity, not rebellion. Not me. A door behind us opened. Footsteps. Measured. Familiar. Kang Jae-hyun stepped onto the rooftop. Of course he did. Corporate men don't leave uncertainty unattended. He stopped several feet away. No anger. Just inevitability. "I wondered how long it would take," he said calmly. She didn't move toward him. Didn't move away from me either. The wind felt colder. This isn't about him, she told her fiancé. Then end it, he replied. Simple, clean, brutal. The choice was no longer rumor, no longer speculation, no longer important. It was action. And under the city lights, she had to decide who she would become. Not who she would marry, but who she would be. And this time, there would be no press conference to soften the answer. The wind didn't stop. It pulled at her coat, at his suit jacket, at my sleeves, like the city itself was impatient. Below us, traffic flowed normally. Screens glowed in office towers. Somewhere, people were watching market graphs, unaware that one woman's choice on a rooftop might shake numbers by morning. Kang Jae-hyun spoke first. You don't owe me love, he said evenly. But you owe the company clarity. There was no accusation in his voice. That made it heavier. She turned to him slowly. You always say the right thing. That's why this engagement works. Works, not feels. Not matters. Works. Her fingers brushed the ring again. Not unconsciously this time. Deliberately. I stayed quiet. This wasn't my stage. If she stepped toward me because of pressure, it would collapse later. If she stayed with him because of fear, it would rot slowly. She had to choose without leaning. You knew, she said softly to Jae-hyun. He didn't pretend not to understand. I knew I wasn't the one you looked for when things got hard. The honesty stunned even her. Then why continue? She asked. Because stability matters. Because affection grows. Because marriages built on strategy have lasted longer than ones built on impulse. He wasn't wrong. That was the terrifying part. He looked at me then. Not hostile. Not threatened. Assessing. You, he said calmly, are uncertainty. I didn't argue. He was right. I had no empire. No shareholder safety net. No 5-year projections. Just a small store and a life without polish. She stepped back slightly, placing physical space between both of us. I built my career choosing what was optimal, she said. Best schools, best promotions, best merger. Her voice thinned. And now I don't know if I've ever chosen what I wanted. Silence pressed in. City lights flickered below like distant witnesses. If you walk away from this engagement, Jae-hyun said quietly, the board will revolt. Investors will panic. You'll be blamed for instability. And if I don't? She asked. He didn't answer, because that consequence wasn't public. It was personal. She looked at me. Not the store owner. Not the rumored man. Just me. If I choose you, she said, I lose protection. You gain honesty, I replied. Honesty doesn't pay for mistakes. No, I agreed. But pretending does. Her eyes shimmered, not from tears, but from decision forming. She inhaled slowly, then turned to Jae-hyun. I won't marry you. No tremor. No apology. Just clarity. The words didn't echo dramatically. They settled, like something heavy finally set down. He studied her face for a long moment, searching for hesitation. There wasn't any. Is this because of him? He asked once more. She shook her head gently. It's because of me. That distinction mattered. After a long pause, he nodded. Then I'll handle the fallout. She blinked. You don't have to. I know. For the first time, something almost like warmth passed between them. Respect, not romance. He extended his hand. She looked at it, then removed the ring. The diamond caught the city lights one last time before she placed it in his palm. No drama. No throwing. Just return. He closed his fingers around it. I hope he's worth the chaos, he said calmly. Then he walked back toward the rooftop door. Not defeated. Just finished. The city felt louder after he left. Or maybe the silence between us did. She faced me fully now. It's done. I searched her expression carefully. Not adrenaline. Not rebellion. Peace. Tomorrow won't be easy, I said. I know. They'll blame you. I know. They'll blame me too. A faint smile touched her lips. You're already the rumored man. The wind softened. Or maybe we just stopped resisting it. I didn't do this for you, she said quietly. I know. I did it because I don't want to wake up 10 years from now wondering who I could have been. That was the right reason. Not love alone. Choice. Ownership. Identity. She stepped closer, not dramatic, not desperate. Intentional. So, she asked softly, are you ready for uncertainty? I looked at the city below, at the towers that would probably curse my name tomorrow, then back at her. I run a convenience store, I said. Uncertainty is daily business. She laughed, small, genuine. The first unguarded sound since this began. We didn't kiss under fireworks. We didn't embrace like a movie ending. We simply stood there, two people who had just chosen complication over comfort. Below us, the city kept moving. By morning, headlines would explode again. Stock prices would fall. The board would rage. But this time, the rumor wouldn't control the narrative, because it wasn't a rumor anymore. She wasn't engaged, and I wasn't a secret. For the first time, we were a decision.